The vastness of space stretched out before the Galen scout ship as it emerged from the shimmering veil of the wormhole, its sleek, angular design cutting effortlessly through the inky blackness. At the helm, Dr. Emily Garcia gazed out at the unfamiliar star systems, her brow furrowed in concentration. "We've arrived at the coordinates, Commander," the pilot announced, his voice crackling over the intercom. "Sensors are detecting a Class M planet in the habitable zone of a nearby star system." Emily nodded, her heart racing with anticipation. This was the moment she had been waiting for. First contact with an undiscovered species. As the lead xenobiologist on the expedition, she would be the first Galen to set eyes on the mysterious inhabitants of this uncharted world. "Bring us in for a closer look," she instructed, leaning forward in her seat. "Maintain a safe distance, but I want to get as much data as possible." The scout ship glided silently through the void, its advanced sensors sweeping the planet below. Emily studied the readouts intently, her eyes widening as the data began to paint a fascinating picture. "Remarkable," she murmured, her fingers flying across the interface. "The atmosphere is remarkably similar to our own, with a comparable oxygen-nitrogen composition, and the surface temperature and gravity levels are well within the habitable range." She paused, her gaze fixed on the swirling blue and green orb beneath them. "But the most intriguing aspect is the presence of complex life forms, intelligent beings, by all indications. They appear to have mastered primitive forms of technology and have even begun venturing into the void of space." The pilot shot her a sidelong glance. "Primitive, you say? Surely they pose no threat to the Galen Empire." Emily's expression darkened. "That remains to be seen. We must approach this first contact with the utmost caution. These creatures may be more advanced than they appear." She tapped a command into the console, and the ship's sensors began scanning the planet in greater detail. Fuzzy images of the inhabitants flickered to life on the view screen. Humanoid in appearance, with varied skin tones and intricate patterns of hair and facial features. "Fascinating," Emily murmured, her eyes narrowing as she studied their movements and behaviors. "Their social structures and modes of communication appear to be highly developed, and their technology, while crude, shows promise." The pilot frowned. "Then we should make haste to secure their allegiance to the Galen Empire. Imagine the resources and manpower they could provide. With their homeworld under our protection, they could become a valuable asset." Emily held up a hand, silencing him. "Not so fast. These humans, as they seem to call themselves, are a deeply isolated species. They have no knowledge of the wider galaxy and have developed entirely on their own. Subjugating them could prove problematic." "Problematic," the pilot scoffed. "The Galen Empire has conquered countless worlds. What makes these humans any different?" Emily's expression hardened. "Their isolation has made them unpredictable, and their fierce territorial instincts suggest they will not welcome our advances with open arms. We must tread carefully, lest we provoke a violent response." She paused, her gaze drifting back to the view screen. "No, we must approach this first contact with diplomacy and understanding. We have the opportunity to learn from these humans, to study their unique evolutionary path and the mysteries of their world. If we can gain their trust and forge an alliance, the benefits to the Galen Empire could be immeasurable." The pilot considered her words, his brow furrowed in thought. "Very well, Doctor. I will relay your concerns to the High Command. In the meantime, let us continue our observations and gather as much data as possible." Emily nodded, her eyes fixed on the distant planet. "Yes, let's. The fate of these humans, and perhaps the future of the Galen Empire, may rest on how we proceed from here." With a deep breath, she turned her attention back to the sensors, determined to uncover the secrets of this isolated world and its enigmatic inhabitants. The future, it seemed, was about to take an unexpected turn. The skies above the human homeworld erupted in a blaze of light as the Galen invasion force descended from the heavens, their sleek, angular warships cutting through the atmosphere with devastating precision. On the ground, the humans watched with a mix of awe and terror as the alien vessels amassed, their towering silhouettes blotting out the sun. For years, they had remained blissfully unaware of the existence of other intelligent life beyond their own planet. But now, faced with the overwhelming might of the Galen Empire, they found themselves thrust into a desperate struggle for survival. In the command center of the human military, General Sarah Williams stood with her hands clasped behind her back, her steely gaze fixed on the tactical displays before her. She had spent the past 2 decades preparing her forces for this eventuality, honing their skills, and stockpiling the most advanced weapons and technology the human race had to offer. Now, as the Galen ships began to rain down their devastating firepower, she knew that the time had come to put those preparations to the test. "All units, this is General Williams." She barked into the communications channel, her voice calm and unwavering. "The enemy has made their move. Initiate defensive protocols and prepare for immediate counterattack. Show these aliens the true might of humanity." Across the planet, human forces sprang into action, their sleek, agile fighters streaking into the sky to engage the Galen invaders. At the same time, a network of sophisticated missile batteries and energy cannons erupted from hidden emplacements, raining down a hellfire of destruction upon the Galen ships. The Galen, caught off guard by the ferocity of the human response, found themselves reeling. Their vaunted technology and superior numbers seemed to matter little against the sheer determination and tactical ingenuity of their adversaries. "Impossible," the Galen commander, Admiral Varys, hissed as he watched his ships being torn apart by the human defenses. "How can these primitives mount such a coordinated, effective counterattack?" Beside him, the reconnaissance team leader, Dr. Garcia, shook her head, her expression a mix of awe and concern. "These humans are far more advanced than we anticipated. Their military capabilities, their willingness to sacrifice." She paused, her brow furrowing. "It goes beyond mere survival instinct. There is something more at work here." Admiral Varys scowled, his talons gripping the edge of the command console. "Irrelevant. We must crush this resistance at all costs. The Galen Empire cannot afford to have such a volatile, unpredictable species on our doorstep." He turned to the communications officer. "Order all units to converge on the primary population centers. We will bombard them into submission, no matter the cost." The officer hesitated, his expression uneasy. "But, sir, the collateral damage would be catastrophic. Millions of civilian lives could be lost." Varys fixed him with a cold, unwavering stare. "Then so be it. The Galen Empire has no use for weakness. Carry out the order, or face the consequences yourself." Swallowing hard, the officer relayed the command, and the Galen ships redirected their devastating firepower towards the human cities below. On the ground, General Williams watched in horror as the bombardment began, her fists clenching at her sides. She knew that their defensive capabilities, no matter how advanced, would be no match for the sheer destructive force of the Galen weapons. But even as the first waves of buildings crumbled beneath the barrage, the human forces refused to waver. With renewed determination, they launched a series of daring counterstrikes, targeting the Galen ships with precision-guided missiles and cutting-edge energy weapons. The battle raged on, the sky ablaze with the fury of 2 unyielding adversaries. And as the Galen forces struggled to maintain their grip on the human homeworld, a realization dawned on Admiral Varys. These humans were not simply fighting for their survival. They were fighting for something far more profound, something that drove them to defy the might of the Galen Empire with unbreakable resolve. "They're not giving in," he murmured, his eyes narrowing as he watched the human fighters weave through the chaos, their weapons blazing. "No matter how much we throw at them, they refuse to surrender. What is the source of this stubborn resilience?" Dr. Garcia met his gaze, her own expression grave. "That, Admiral, is the question we must answer. For the sake of the Galen Empire, and perhaps the fate of the galaxy itself." The battle raged on, the fate of two worlds hanging in the balance. The Galen forces, battered and bruised, retreated from the human homeworld, their once formidable invasion fleet in disarray. Admiral Varys paced the command deck of his flagship, his mind racing as he tried to make sense of the unexpected turn of events. "How is this possible?" he growled, his talons drumming against the console. "We outnumbered them, outgunned them, and yet they refused to yield. What is the source of their unbreakable will?" Beside him, Dr. Emily Garcia stood, her expression pensive. "That is the question we must answer, Admiral. These humans, this species called humanity, have defied all our expectations. Their resilience, their strategic brilliance, their sheer tenacity. It is unlike anything we have encountered before." Varys shot her a withering glare. "Then you had better find the answers, Doctor, before the Galen Empire decides that these humans are more trouble than they are worth." Emily nodded, her mind already racing. "I understand, Admiral, but I must caution you. These humans are not to be underestimated. Their isolation has given rise to a uniquely adaptable and resourceful species, one that may hold the key to unlocking secrets about the very nature of intelligent life." Varys snorted. "Secrets. Adaptability. Bah. All I care about is securing this planet for the Galen Empire. If these humans cannot be brought to heel, then they must be eliminated." "That would be a grave mistake, Admiral," Emily warned, her voice firm. "These humans have demonstrated a level of innovation and strategic thinking that far exceeds our expectations. Eliminating them would not only be a waste of a potentially valuable resource, but it could also have catastrophic consequences for the Galen Empire." Varys regarded her with barely contained contempt. "Explain yourself, Doctor." Emily took a deep breath, steeling herself for the Admiral's reaction. "The humans have shown an uncanny ability to adapt and overcome adversity. Their military tactics, their weapons technology, all of it has been developed in complete isolation from the rest of the galaxy. Who knows what other surprises they may have in store?" She paused, her gaze locking with Varys. "And if we were to destroy them, we would be eliminating a species that may hold the key to unlocking new frontiers of knowledge and discovery. The Galen Empire could lose out on invaluable scientific and technological advancements." Varys' eyes narrowed. "You speak as if these humans are our equals. They are a primitive, isolated species, nothing more. Their stubborn resistance will be crushed, and their world will be ours." "That is where you are mistaken, Admiral," Emily countered, her voice rising. "The humans have proven themselves to be far more than mere primitives. Their ability to innovate and adapt in the face of adversity is a testament to their remarkable potential." She leaned forward, her expression earnest. "I implore you, Admiral, do not underestimate them. If we approach this situation with caution and understanding, we may be able to forge an alliance, one that could greatly benefit the Galen Empire." Varys considered her words, his talons drumming against the console. The prospect of an alliance with these humans was not one he relished, but he could not deny the potential advantages it might offer. "Very well, Doctor," he conceded, his voice laced with reluctance. "I will relay your concerns to the High Command. But make no mistake, if these humans continue to defy us, I will not hesitate to order their complete annihilation." Emily nodded, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "Understood, Admiral. I will work tirelessly to uncover the secrets of humanity's resilience and find a path to peace between our peoples." As Varys turned away, Emily's gaze drifted to the distant planet, her mind whirling with possibilities. These humans, this isolated species, had defied all odds and shaken the very foundations of the Galen Empire. And she was determined to unlock the mysteries that lay at the heart of their unyielding spirit. The fate of two worlds hung in the balance, and Emily knew that the choices made in the days to come would echo through the ages. The Galen forces, battered and reeling from their failed invasion, had retreated to regroup, leaving the human homeworld in a tense stalemate. Admiral Varys, his pride wounded, had reluctantly agreed to Dr. Emily Garcia's proposal to study the humans and seek a diplomatic solution. But as the Galen ships hovered in orbit, the humans seized their opportunity to strike back. In the command center of the human military, General Sarah Williams stood with her senior officers, her eyes narrowed as she studied the tactical displays before them. "The Galen are regrouping, but their defenses are still vulnerable," she said, her voice low and determined. "Now is the time to take the fight to them, before they have a chance to refortify their position." The officers exchanged uneasy glances. "General, with all due respect, our forces are still recovering from the initial onslaught," one of them cautioned. "Any offensive action against the Galen Empire would be suicidal." Sarah's expression hardened. "I'm well aware of the risks, Colonel, but we cannot afford to sit back and wait for the Galen to gather their strength. This is our chance to show them the true might of humanity." She turned to the communications officer. "Relay my orders to all units. Prepare a strike force for a deep space incursion. We're going to hit the Galen where it hurts." The officer hesitated, his fingers hovering over the console. "General, the Galen ships outclass our own in every conceivable way. We be outnumbered and outgunned, even with our best pilots." Sarah's gaze was unwavering. "Then we'll have to even the odds, mobilize our most advanced stealth and maneuvering technologies. I want our ships to be ghosts in the void, capable of slipping past the Galen defenses undetected." The officers exchanged uneasy glances, but they knew better than to argue with the general's resolve. With a nod, the communications officer relayed the orders, and within hours, the human strike force was ready to launch. As the sleek, agile ships streaked through the void, Sarah stood on the bridge of the flagship, her heart pounding with a mix of trepidation and determination. "We're approaching the Galen primary staging area," the pilot reported, his voice tense. "Cloaking systems are holding. No sign of enemy detection." Sarah nodded, her gaze fixed on the tactical display. "Excellent. All units, prepare for the attack run. Remember, our objective is to cripple the Galen fleet and their supply lines. Leave no target standing." The human ships split into smaller squadrons, their engines burning bright as they closed in on the Galen staging area. Undetected by the enemy sensors, they unleashed a barrage of precision-guided missiles and cutting-edge energy weapons, targeting the Galen vessels and their support infrastructure with devastating accuracy. Chaos erupted in the Galen ranks as the unexpected attack unfolded. Varys, his command ship rocked by the onslaught, could scarcely believe his eyes. "Impossible!" he roared, his talons gripping the console. "How could they have penetrated our defenses so easily?" Beside him, Dr. Garcia watched the unfolding battle with a mix of awe and trepidation. Their stealth capabilities, their strategic planning, it's beyond anything we've ever encountered. These humans are proving themselves to be far more formidable than we imagined. Varys shot her a withering glare. "Then they must be eliminated, Doctor. Mobilize every ship we have to hunt down and destroy these human vermin." Garcia hesitated, her brow furrowed. "Admiral, I must caution you against such rash action. If we engage them directly, we risk suffering even greater losses. Perhaps it would be wiser to—" "I will hear no more of your caution, Garcia," Varys snarled, his eyes wild with fury. "The Galen Empire does not tolerate weakness or failure. Either destroy the humans or face the consequences yourself." Swallowing hard, Garcia turned back to the console, her fingers flying across the controls as she relayed the Admiral's orders. The Galen fleet surged forward, their weapons blazing, determined to crush the human incursion at all costs. But as the two forces collided in a cataclysmic clash, it became clear that the humans had gained a newfound confidence, their tactics and maneuverability proving more than a match for the Galen's raw firepower. In the chaos of the battle, Sarah Williams watched with grim satisfaction as the human ships danced through the Galen formation, wreaking havoc and destruction with every passing second. Today, we show the Galen the true meaning of resilience, she murmured, her eyes narrowing. And we prove that humanity will not be so easily subdued. The fate of two worlds hung in the balance as the battle raged on, the humans' unexpected prowess striking fear into the heart of the mighty Galen Empire. In the aftermath of the devastating human counterattack, the Galen Empire was left reeling, its once formidable invasion force in shambles. Admiral Varys, his pride wounded and his temper barely contained, had ordered a full-scale retreat, determined to regroup and devise a new strategy to subdue the stubborn human homeworld. But as the Galen ships fell back, Dr. Emily Garce's mind was racing, consumed by a growing fascination with the mysteries of this enigmatic species known as Terrans. Seated at the console of the Galen flagship, she pored over the reams of data gathered during the conflict, her brow furrowed in concentration. The Terrans' advanced military capabilities, their innovative tactics, their unbreakable spirit. It was all so unlike anything the Galen had encountered before. There must be something unique about their biology, their evolutionary path, she murmured, her fingers flying across the interface. Something that has given rise to this remarkable resilience and adaptability. Beside her, a team of Galen scientists and technicians worked tirelessly, analyzing every scrap of information they could glean from their observations of the human homeworld. Sensor readings, atmospheric scans, even recordings of the Terrans' language and social structures. They pored over it all, searching for the key to unlocking the secrets of this isolated species. As the days turned into weeks, Garcia's fascination only grew, her initial caution giving way to a burning curiosity. She knew that the answers she sought could hold the key to the future, not just for the Galen Empire, but for the entire galaxy. We must understand them, she insisted, her voice laced with a sense of urgency. These Terrans have evolved in complete isolation, yet they have managed to achieve a level of technological and cultural advancement that rivaled our own. Imagine the knowledge, the discoveries, that could be unlocked if we could forge an alliance with them. Varys, his scowl ever present, regarded her with a mix of skepticism and annoyance. Alliance? You speak as if these Terrans are our equals, Doctor. They are a primitive, isolated species, nothing more. Their stubborn resistance will be crushed, and their world will be brought into the fold of the Galen Empire. Garcia shook her head, undeterred. You underestimate them, Admiral. Their isolation has given rise to a unique evolutionary path, one that has endowed them with capabilities that we can scarcely comprehend. If we were to destroy them, we would be losing an invaluable opportunity to expand the frontiers of our knowledge and unlock new frontiers of scientific discovery. Varys snorted. Discovery. Knowledge. Bah. The only thing that matters is the security and expansion of the Galen Empire. These Terrans pose a threat, and they must be eliminated. Garcia fixed him with a steely gaze. And what if, in eliminating them, we destroy the key to unlocking the very secrets of intelligent life itself? The Terrans have evolved in complete isolation, without any outside influence. Surely their biology, their neurological structure, even their social and cultural development, holds insights that could revolutionize our understanding of the universe. Varys' talons drummed against the console, his expression unreadable. You make a compelling argument, Doctor, but the High Command will not be swayed by your scientific curiosity. They demand results, not hypotheticals. He leaned back in his chair, his eyes narrowing. Very well, I will grant you a chance to study these Terrans further. But mark my words, if your research does not yield actionable intelligence that can be used to subjugate them, I will not hesitate to order their complete annihilation. Garcia nodded, her resolve hardening. Understood, Admiral. I will not let you or the High Command down. The secrets of the Terrans must be uncovered, no matter the cost. With a renewed sense of purpose, she turned back to the data, her mind racing with possibilities. The Terrans had shaken the very foundations of the Galen Empire, and she was determined to uncover the source of their remarkable resilience and adaptability. The fate of two worlds hung in the balance, and Garcia knew that the answers she sought could alter the course of history. The Galen High Command, shaken by the humans' unexpected display of military prowess, had reluctantly agreed to Dr. Emily Garcia's proposal to pursue a diplomatic solution with the Terran homeworld. With the Galen forces in retreat, the stage was set for a tense and uncertain negotiation. In the capital city of the human homeworld, General Sarah Williams stood alongside her top advisors, her expression guarded as they awaited the arrival of the Galen delegation. "I don't trust them," she murmured, her eyes narrowing. "The Galen have shown us nothing but aggression and hostility. Why should we believe they've had a change of heart?" One of her officers, a seasoned veteran named Colonel Jackson, nodded in agreement. "I share your skepticism, General. These aliens have demonstrated a willingness to destroy us without provocation. Any alliance they propose is likely a trap." Sarah sighed, running a hand through her short, dark hair. "I know, but we can't afford to let our distrust blind us to potential opportunities. If there's even a chance that we can forge a lasting peace with the Galen, we have to at least hear them out." Jackson opened his mouth to protest, but the arrival of the Galen delegation cut him off. At the head of the group was Dr. Garcia, her expression somber but determined. Beside her stood Admiral Varys, his posture rigid and his eyes fixed on the human officers with barely concealed disdain. As they approached, Sarah stepped forward, her hand extended in a gesture of goodwill. "Welcome to our homeworld, representatives of the Galen Empire. I am General Sarah Williams, commander of the Terran military forces." Garcia reached out and grasped her hand, a faint smile tugging at the corners of her lips. "General Williams, it is an honor to finally meet you in person. I am Dr. Emily Garcia, lead xenobiologist for the Galen expedition." Varys cleared his throat, drawing the attention of the humans. "Enough with the pleasantries, Doctor. Let us get to the reason for our visit." He fixed Sarah with a piercing gaze. "The Galen High Command has decided to propose a truce with your people. We recognize the futility of continued hostilities and believe that an alliance could be mutually beneficial." Sarah raised an eyebrow, her expression skeptical. "An alliance? Forgive me, Admiral, but your previous actions have done little to inspire trust in the Terran people. Why should we believe that your intentions are sincere?" Varys' talons clenched at his sides, but Garcia quickly intervened. "General, we understand your concerns, and they are not without merit. The Galen Empire has acted with aggression in the past, and for that, we must take responsibility." She turned to Varys, her gaze unwavering. "However, we now recognize the extraordinary potential of your species, the Terrans. Your resilience, your adaptability, and your strategic brilliance have left us in awe. We believe that by working together, we can achieve great things for both our peoples and the galaxy as a whole." Sarah considered her words, her mind racing. The prospect of an alliance with the Galen was a tempting one, but the memory of the devastation they had wrought on her homeworld still burned fresh in her mind. "And what exactly would this alliance entail?" she asked, her tone cautious. "What would the Galen expect in return for their cooperation?" Varys cleared his throat, his expression sour. "In exchange for sharing our technological and scientific knowledge, as well as providing access to our resources, we would expect the full cooperation and allegiance of the Terran people to the Galen Empire." Sarah felt her jaw tighten, and she could see the tension in the faces of her officers. "So, in other words, you wish to subjugate us, to make us servants of your empire. I'm afraid that is not an acceptable arrangement." Garcia quickly stepped forward, raising a placating hand. "General, please, hear us out. We do not seek to subjugate your people, but rather to forge a true partnership. The Galen Empire recognizes the value of your unique abilities and the knowledge you can provide. We merely ask that you join us in advancing the frontiers of science and technology for the betterment of all." Sarah studied the Galen scientists, searching for any hint of deception. After a long moment, she let out a heavy sigh. "Very well, Dr. Garcia. We will consider your proposal. But understand this, The Terran people will not accept any arrangement that compromises our sovereignty or our right to self-determination. Varys opened his mouth to protest, but Garcia quickly silenced him with a stern look. Noted, General. We will return to the negotiation table with an offer that is more equitable. The Galen Empire is willing to make concessions, but we must insist on a level of cooperation that ensures the security of both our peoples. Sarah nodded, her expression guarded. Then let us continue these discussions. The future of our worlds may well depend on the outcome. As the Galen delegation departed, Sarah turned to her officers, her brow furrowed in thought. The path ahead was fraught with uncertainty, but the potential rewards of an alliance with the Galen were too great to ignore. The fate of the Terran people now lay in the balance. The tense negotiations between the Terrans and the Galen Empire had dragged on for months, with both sides warily eyeing each other across the metaphorical and literal divide. General Sarah Williams and her team of advisors had fought tooth and nail to ensure that any alliance with the Galen would preserve the Terrans' hard-won sovereignty and independence. But as the talks progressed, a begrudging respect began to take root between the two sides. The Galen, once dismissive of the primitive humans, found themselves increasingly awed by the Terrans' innovative spirit and remarkable adaptability. And the Terrans, while still mistrustful of their potential conquerors, could not ignore the temptation of the Galen's vast technological and scientific resources. At the heart of the negotiations was Dr. Emily Garcia, her passion for understanding the Terrans' unique evolutionary path, driving her to bridge the divide between the two civilizations. The Terrans have demonstrated an unparalleled ability to thrive in the face of adversity, she argued before the Galen High Command. By forging an alliance, we can unlock a wealth of knowledge and capabilities that could transform the very foundation of our empire. Varys, ever the skeptic, scowled. And what guarantees do we have that these Terrans will not turn on us the moment our backs are turned? Their stubborn resistance has already cost us dearly. Why should we risk further losses by entrusting them with our technology and resources? Garcia met his gaze, her expression unwavering. Because, Admiral, the Terrans' evolutionary path has endowed them with a level of resilience and adaptability that we cannot hope to match. If we were to harness that potential, the Galen Empire could ascend to unprecedented heights of power and influence. She paused, her gaze drifting to the tactical displays that showed the Terran homeworld. Think of the scientific breakthroughs we could achieve, the frontiers we could explore, the threats we could overcome, all with the Terrans as our partners. The risks, while not insignificant, are far outweighed by the potential rewards. Varys considered her words, his talons drumming against the console. After a long moment, he let out a resigned sigh. Very well, Doctor. I will relay your proposal to the High Command. But mark my words, if these Terrans prove untrustworthy, I will not hesitate to order their complete subjugation. And so, the alliance between the Terrans and the Galen Empire was forged, ushering in a new era of cooperation and scientific progress. Under the terms of the agreement, the Galen provided the Terrans with access to their advanced technology and resources, while the Terrans lent their strategic brilliance and innovative spirit to joint research and development initiatives. The two civilizations worked tirelessly to push the boundaries of what was thought possible, unlocking new frontiers in fields ranging from energy production to interstellar propulsion. General Sarah Williams, once a staunch skeptic of the Galen's intentions, found herself increasingly impressed by the tangible benefits of the alliance. The Terrans' military capabilities, already formidable, were bolstered by the infusion of Galen tech, giving them an edge in both defense and offense. Who would have thought that we, a mere primitive species, could stand shoulder to shoulder with the mighty Galen Empire? She mused to her officers, a hint of pride in her voice. Colonel Jackson, once a vocal critic of the alliance, nodded in agreement. It's remarkable, General. Our people have adapted and thrived in ways we never could have imagined. The future of the Terran race has never been brighter. As the years passed, the Terrans' standing within the galactic community grew. their reputation as a fierce, resourceful, and highly adaptable species spreading like wildfire. Other civilizations, once dismissive of the isolated humans, now regarded them with a mix of respect and trepidation. And at the heart of this transformation was the Galen-Terran Alliance, a partnership that had defied all odds and shattered the preconceptions of the galaxy. The Terrans, once on the brink of annihilation, had ascended to become a dominant force, a testament to the power of determination, innovation, and the unbreakable spirit of humanity. The alliance between the Terrans and the Galen Empire had blossomed into a partnership that defied all expectations, transforming the very fabric of the galactic landscape. What had once been a fragile, tenuous truce had evolved into a symbiotic relationship, with both civilizations reaping the rewards of their cooperation. Under the guidance of General Sarah Williams and Dr. Emily Garcia, the Terrans had rapidly ascended the technological and scientific ladder, leveraging the Galen's resources and knowledge to push the boundaries of what was thought possible. Their once primitive military capabilities had been bolstered by a steady influx of advanced Galen weaponry and strategic support, giving them an edge in both defense and offense. But the true revolution lay in the realm of scientific discovery. The Terrans' unique evolutionary path, shaped by their isolated existence, had unlocked a wealth of insights that captivated the Galen's brightest minds. Together, the two civilizations delved into the mysteries of the universe, uncovering groundbreaking breakthroughs in fields ranging from energy production to interstellar propulsion. The Terrans have proven to be an invaluable asset, Admiral Varys begrudgingly admitted, his once dismissive attitude replaced by a growing respect. Their adaptability, their innovative spirit, it has transformed the very foundation of the Galen Empire. Dr. Garcia, her eyes alight with excitement, nodded in agreement. Indeed, Admiral, the knowledge we have gained from our partnership with the Terrans has the potential to reshape the galaxy itself. Imagine the wonders we could uncover, the challenges we could overcome, if we were to harness the full potential of this remarkable species. The Galen High Command, once wary of the Terrans, had come to embrace their newfound allies, recognizing the immense benefits of the alliance. The Terrans' military expertise had proven instrumental in repelling the incursions of hostile alien civilizations, while their scientific breakthroughs had ushered in a new era of technological advancement for the Galen Empire. And as the partnership flourished, the Terrans themselves underwent a transformation, shedding their once isolated status to become a driving force in the galactic community. Their reputation as a fierce, resourceful, and highly adaptable species spread like wildfire, commanding the respect and even fear of other civilizations. We have come a long way from the days when the Galen sought to subjugate us, General Williams remarked to her senior officers, a proud smile tugging at the corners of her lips. Now the Terran name is synonymous with innovation, resilience, and the boundless potential of our species. Colonel Jackson, once a skeptic of the alliance, nodded in agreement. Indeed, General, the Terrans have proven that our isolation was not a weakness, but a strength, a catalyst that has given rise to a civilization capable of standing alongside the greatest powers in the galaxy. As the Galen-Terran partnership continued to grow and flourish, the two civilizations embarked on a new era of joint ventures, tackling the most pressing challenges facing the galaxy. Together, they spearheaded ambitious space exploration initiatives, established colonies on distant worlds, and developed groundbreaking technologies that ushered in a new age of prosperity and discovery. The once underestimated Terrans, now respected and feared, had cemented their place as a dominant force in the galaxy, leaving a lasting legacy that would echo through the ages. Their journey from isolated obscurity to galactic prominence had served as an inspiration to other species, demonstrating the immense potential of a civilization that had evolved in complete independence. The Terrans have shown us that the power of the human spirit knows no bounds, Dr. Garcia mused, her gaze fixed on the stars. Their resilience, their adaptability, their unquenchable thirst for knowledge. These are the qualities that will shape the future of the galaxy. And as the Galen-Terran alliance continued to push the boundaries of what was possible, the two civilizations stood shoulder to shoulder, united in their quest to unlock the secrets of the universe and forge a new era of peace, prosperity, and scientific enlightenment. The Terrans' remarkable journey had come full circle, from the brink of annihilation to the forefront of galactic influence, and as their legacy echoed through the stars, the once isolated species had proven that the true measure of a civilization's worth lies not in its technological prowess, but in the indomitable spirit that drives it to defy the odds and shape the destiny of the galaxy.